Welcome to the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast.
A simple warning. We know many of you are planning a wedding right now. We may be tempted to drop an F-bomb or other descriptive words. Keep this in mind if you have small children in the room or are on a Zoom call. You've been warned.
The Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast.
Let's be honest, planning a wedding is tricky. And at Be Engaged and Inspired, we'll share our knowledge to help you navigate these tricky waters and leaving you feeling inspired.
The Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast is sponsored by EasyEventPlanning.com. They make planning any event fast and easy. EasyEventPlanning.com. And now your hosts, Kia and DJ Sam.
Welcome to the Be Engaged and Inspired the Wedding Podcast. DJ Sam from Atmosphere Productions.
And Kia from Engaged, Connecticut.
Welcome to another great episode of the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast. And I'm going to start off with a inspirational tip. And this one's short and sweet. That's because I can't pronounce the gentleman's name whose quote it is from. Marriage is the fullness of time. Isn't that sweet?
Oh, yeah, sure. You're still on this kick, right?
I'm going to keep doing this because I like to be inspired, and I want our listeners to be inspired too. And I want them to have long and fruitful marriages.
That I understand.
That's why the quotes are not coming from you, by the way.
Yeah. If you start wearing yoga pants, I'm out. Well, it's Wednesday. You know what this means.
Wedding Tip Wednesday is brought to you by the Be Engaged and Inspired Facebook group page. Every Wednesday, go there and join for free.
Wedding Tip Wednesday is brought to you by Emerge Cosmetics. Are you ready to emerge? A new line of luxurious lipsticks and lip glosses created with the intention of empowerment and coming into who you truly are. Strong, beautiful, and confident. Use the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast coupon code EBI10 at shopemergecosmetics.com for an instant 10% discount. That's coupon code EBI10 for 10% discount at shopemergecosmetics.com. Emerge as the true you.
Hey, Sam, when it comes to finding the right professional vendor, it can seem overwhelming to know where to start.
It can, Kia, unless you use easyeventplanning.com, because they'll find perfect vendors for your event within your budget and deliver them right to your inbox. You can search through over 28 categories of party and wedding services. Get the details you need to narrow down your choices quickly with their category-specific profiles. Chat with vendors via text, audio, or video from any device.
EasyEventPlanning.com will make planning your wedding or event easy, from their extensive vendor directory to their free tips on favors, decorations, themes, and more. Contact them today at EasyEventPlanning.com.
Help us out. Make a donation now to help support this podcast. Please go to our anchor.fm profile, click Support This Podcast at the top of the page, or use the link in the show notes of this episode, or go to the Atmosphere Productions business profile on Venmo. Thank you for making a donation and helping support this podcast.
You're listening to the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast.
Now syndicated on the Wedding Talk channel on YouShook.com radio network, America's radio station.
Today's Wedding Tip Wednesday. Keep an eye on those envelopes. At the reception, your guests may not be the only ones who have access to your venue or room. Put those envelopes in a basket or receptacle behind the head table, or in a well-observed and lit location. Maybe have someone remove and secure them in a timely fashion during the reception.
The only problem with them removing them is you should not remove whatever thing they're going into, because some people left it in their car and they go back to get it. They do that.
Right.
I always have somebody from the wedding party that goes up with me, and we've emptied it. I once had a grandmother who literally had a purse that locked. She had a little lock on it. And the grandmother was adamant that she was the one who got the envelopes, and the family knew. And she put them in there, and then she'd sealed it and she locked it. And she was on the dance floor with those envelopes, everything, which was it was cute. It made grandma super happy, but it was one of those things where she had to constantly worry about where this bag is.
Yeah. So now you moved the problem from one location to another.
No, I was not. Grandma would have beat you.
That's our Wedding Tip Wednesday. Watch out for those envelopes. Don't forget to use the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast coupon code. That's EBI10 at shopemergecosmetics.com for an instant 10% discount on lipsticks and lip gloss. That's coupon code EBI10 for 10% discount at shopemergecosmetics.com. Go there and emerge as the true you.
And they'll ship it to you, too.
Yeah, she does it very quickly.
Yeah, she's very good. Yeah. Okay, we're going to discuss something that just sounds too good to be true, Sam.
Yes, if it's too good to be true, the old adage says it probably is.
It probably is. Yep. you should ask for clarifying questions and answers to this too good to be true.
Yeah, and we always tell you on this podcast that ask questions. Don't just assume. Make sure you ask questions. So this episode is going to kind of concrete that tip for you.
And I know that we've discussed it before in the past about, does your vendor carry insurance? Does your vendor have this? What is this? And what's the difference between a professional and an amateur? But this is especially all the way to just past Valentine's Day. So many people got engaged over the holidays and New Year's and Valentine's Day, and people are planning, and there's wedding shows going on. And there's a lot of deals. I see the deals all the time. Mm-hmm. I get them sent by my couples who say, well, why did we pay this for Sam? I'm seeing this price now.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm seeing people offering, DJ services for $500. Mm-hmm. What's a red flag for you in that whole?
Well, the cost my insurance alone is probably $500 a year. So for one event, I think that would be extremely low. The averaging in Connecticut, because of COVID, has actually gone up. It's now around $1,800 for the average. Mm-hmm. Now, there's a lot less than that, and there's a lot more than that. But
depending on what your venue needs, that's the other thing. If it is your home and you want to risk that part of it, obviously I'm not saying no, you can't do that. But one of those things that you should be saying, okay, so for $500, what am I really getting? Are there hidden fees that you don't see yet? Mm-hmm. And if all of a sudden I upgraded something, so let's say, I know for you, if you're having a ceremony location, a cocktail location, and a reception location,
all additional.
If all of a sudden I come back to this person that I've signed a contract with, and now I need one additional location, is it going to be $1,000 because you're already contracted in?
But that's exactly what it is. And typically with these, especially DJ or entertainment special offers that are $500, it's usually just for 2 or 3 hours. Mm-hmm. And then most receptions are 5 hours or 6 hours. So they're going to whack you for the extra time.
Yep.
And then they're going to whack you for the extra equipment that you'll need. Because I know whenever I go to a venue, I know exactly where the ceremony should be, where the cocktail hour should be. So I'm going to price accordingly. Some of these upstarts are not going to do that. And then they get there and they either don't have the right equipment, or they're suddenly going to whack you the night before and say, well, I've got to bring this extra and this extra.
As it turns out.
As it turns out, I can't do it for the $500. And then,
or also the service in between is going to be different.
What do you mean in between?
So I'll give a perfect example. At the beginning of the year, I got an email saying, this is how much I want to spend for basically day of coordinating. And I said, great, that's not my price point. Right. And they were like, well, you came really recommended, and how come you can't be this price point?
Well, good, then you pay my price point.
And I said, well, part of the reason I can't be that price point is because if I do that, then you're going to be on the back burner. Because I have only so much valuable time. Mm-hmm. I spend literally all of my time, sometimes late into the night, answering questions, answering emails, talking to some people's parents, talking to both couples.
Yep.
So if I'm going to short myself, it means that I can't afford to pay my employee to go and be as available to you. I can't be as available to you because it's not cost effective. It doesn't keep me in business.
Right. So they were expecting you to do your full service for half and less of what you would normally do. Who does that?
Well,
it's like
I understand shopping around, and I'm not upset with even asking, but I think it's like the return email that says, well, you were recommended. Well, I was recommended because I know about, on average, what it takes to plan a wedding and what you're asking me for.
Yeah, if I'm recommended, my price is usually double. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Sam will be like, how difficult is this client? No, I'm kidding. But it's a genuine thing. I think sometimes when I'm seeing all of these posts saying, I did a great job planning my own wedding, I'm going to be offering this service, but they're also still working a full-time job, or it's a side hustle, and there's no problem with a side hustle, but there's a big, huge difference between planning something that is your own and planning something that is for somebody else.
Absolutely.
It's different when you're looking at money, because you might put money towards something that someone else will not put money towards. Mm-hmm. So there's a whole bunch of other things, and if you're cutting corners, sometimes that comes back to bite you. Sometimes it's great. You get an up-and-coming photographer. You understand what you're working with. You really are comfortable with them. You've looked at their work. You understand it. That's different. Yep. But usually if you're hiring a DJ for that $500, where are you going to go see him or her?
Well, and the references too. But there's nothing wrong with a $500 DJ if music is your only priority, if you don't care about introductions, organization, if you don't care about anything else other than you have this long list of music,
Well, then you
and
might as well
want
just put a
the DJ
playlist.
Well, I mean, $500 may be the amount of money you need to rent equipment and just set it up. Then, hire a DJ for $500 if that's all you want.
Yeah.
But 99.9% of the time, by the time you get to that day,
You want the bells and whistles.
you want, I wish he could just announce that grandma is here and we haven't seen her in 20 years. Well, then you should have paid for a professional to do that. So you've got to make the choice. Ultimately, it's your money, but understand that the downside is going to be drastic.
But that's one of the important things to do is if something's seeming to be too good to be true, you should be asking them, can you walk me through how you do a wedding? Can you tell me everything we're going to be doing? And are they able to sort of talk about it in a way that makes
coherently.
Yes, not hopping from one topic to another like we do, but like actually, can they say, we start off with, we arrive at this point in time, this is what we do. You need those step-by-step things.
You do. You most definitely.
So we're gonna head over to a commercial, and then we'll come back for some other little things that might be too good to be true.
Each week, the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding podcast posts a new episode sharing wedding tips, knowledge, and speaking with wedding experts, all as a chance to help you navigate your way through planning your own wedding. Have a topic you want us to cover? Want to send us a message? Email us at engagedct@gmail.com, go to the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast Facebook group page, or on anchor.fm and select message. Your message will be recorded and may be aired on a future episode.
The Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding podcast will be right back.
Welcome to the Inn at Mount Pleasant. Contact us at theinnatmountpleasant.com. Located in the hills of Torrington, our classic New England bed and breakfast and historic barn is the perfect location for your personalized wedding weekend. Contact us at theinnatmountpleasant.com.
Dollar Tree is the nation's #1 destination for value shopping. All of their stores are well lit and crammed with all kinds of hidden treasures. Dollar Tree offers a plethora of merchandise that includes many national and regionally trusted brands. It doesn't matter if you're looking for housewares, dinnerware, candy, snacks, stationery, or holiday needs. You're going to find it at Dollar Tree. You can shop at your hometown store or shop online for exclusive offers, manufacturer closeouts, watch videos, and join their Value Seekers Club. On top of all that, you can have your order shipped for free directly to your local store. To visit DollarTree.com, click on the link in the show notes to let them know we sent you. Doing so helps keep our podcast going. Dollar Tree.
Emerge Cosmetics. Are you ready to emerge?
I bought this lipstick after my wedding trial with Lauren and instantly fell in love with it. It is smooth and creamy and the color is beautiful.
This is Lauren Simpson from Emerge Cosmetics, a professional makeup artist with over a decade of experience in the beauty industry. That's the reaction we're getting from our new line of carefully curated lip products that wear well and feel comfortable. These are a must-have for your collection. All products are made in the USA, cruelty-free, gluten-free, and most are vegan. Shop emergecosmetics.com for lipsticks and lip glosses that not only feel great but last for hours in an array of different colors. Free shipping on orders over $100. Use the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast coupon code EBI10 at shopemergecosmetics.com for an instant 10% discount. That's coupon code EBI10 for 10% discount at shopemergecosmetics.com. Emerge as the true you.
Honey Fund, the world's #1 wedding registry. Honey Fund helps real couples realize their wedding and honeymoon dreams. Honey Fund's #1 online wedding gift registry makes it easy to give and receive the perfect wedding gift, one that reflects the couple's unique style and makes giving fun for the wedding guest. As the world's most popular crowdfunding site for weddings, honeymoons, and more, Honey Fund has helped hundreds of thousands of couples make their wedding dreams come true with an easy-to-use funding platform. Honey Fund, a gift card wedding registry that's as flexible as cash. Use the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast link in the show notes or visit atmosphere-productions.com. Select the podcast link and click on the Honey Fund banner. That's atmosphere-productions.com. Select the podcast link and click on the Honey Fund banner.
Destination Weddings Unlimited is your destination wedding and honeymoon specialist worldwide. Call us at 844-666-6872. Online at destinationweddingsunlimited.com. Allow us to take the stress and time off your plate so you can have an amazing experience. We're able to walk you through the process and handle all the travel and coordination needs. Destination Weddings Unlimited, online at destinationweddingsunlimited.com.
Hey, Aaron Miller here from Aaron Miller Photography.
I'm Michelle from Destination Weddings Unlimited.
This is Marty Q.
I'm Donna from Creative Cakes by Donna, and I listen every week.
You should tell an engaged friend.
And I always listen to DJ Sam and Kia
on the Be Engaged and Inspired podcast. Jeff Ladd here from Tire Biter and Jeff Ladd DJ Plus.
This is Christina Wesley from La Femme Boudoir Photography.
Tell an engaged friend or somebody planning an event.
I'm Lauren Simpson from LA Page Makeup, and I listen every week for the great tips and suggestions.
You should tell an engaged friend.
Every single Wednesday. And you know what? It's free.
Free on iTunes and Google Podcasts. I suggest you listen to.
You should listen to
Atmosphere Productions, professional disc jockeys,
live musicians, custom lighting and photo booth.
When your wedding entertainment has to have the amazing music be fun, organized, and unforgettable, your choice has to be Atmosphere Production. Experience the difference. www.atmosphere-productions.com. That's www.atmosphere-productions.com.
DJs, live musicians, custom lighting and photo booth.
Atmosphere Productions, professional disc jockeys.
Meadowbrook Estates and Mansion is located in Marlborough, Connecticut, perfectly situated between New York City and Boston. Our one-of-a-kind 10,500 square foot venue offers lodging for up to 30 guests and a stunning ballroom for intimate weddings. Looking to host a larger event? We have a gorgeous outside setting right next to our heated pool and small rambling brook. Contact us at Engage Connecticut for more details.
Hi, America. Looking for a one-stop entertainment website that the whole family can enjoy? How about shows like these? Producer Andy's Rock Countdown. Wow Wilson, featuring music and jokes like you've never ever heard before. Our latest addition to the Ushuk family is the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast with DJ Sam and Kia. Are you planning a vacation? Well, you gotta check out Terry Mansfield's group Travel Voice. And for all you country rockers, there's DJ Mark Style, giving you all the hits from yesterday. Oh, you can even join me, DJ Pauly, my show with lots of unique music and comedy. See, there's something for everyone on America's station, ushuk.com.
On next week's episode of the Be Engaged and Inspired the Wedding podcast, join DJ Sam and Kia as we talk about
the coolest things we've seen at weddings and that are sort of upcoming in the next season.
Wow, I can't wait.
Yep.
Right here on the Be Engaged and Inspired the Wedding podcast, now syndicated on the Wedding Talk channel on ushuk.com, America's radio station.
Now back to the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding podcast, sponsored by easyeventplanning.com. They make planning any event fast and easy. easyeventplanning.com. With your hosts, Kia and DJ Sam.
Welcome back to the Be Engaged and Inspired the Wedding podcast, discussing if it's too good to be true. As the old adage says, it probably is. And I'm going to give you a little inspirational quote as we go into this next section. May this marriage offer fruits and shade like the date palm. May this marriage be full of laughter, our every day a day in paradise. I am out of words to describe how spirit mingled in this marriage. That's by Rummy.
You understand shade means something completely different.
No, we're not throwing shade.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
That's your second inspirational quote of the day.
By the brand new Sam.
I hope it inspires you.
Okay, so we were discussing things that may seem too good to be true. So one of the things that I'm saying too, because in this new year, a lot of these amazing packages.
Yes.
But the packages might be geared more for like 50 people or 75 people. Because we still do have micro weddings and things like that. Mm-hmm. So people are saying, oh, I'm going to lock it in at this price. But then all of a sudden, what happens if everybody says yes and is coming to your wedding?
And now you have 100 people.
You have 100 people. And yes, the 2 weeks prior when you're giving your numbers, you can add that in. But you have to make sure that when you're reading the contract and you're looking at it and you're talking to these venues or even the vendors, depending on what they are, what is that increased charge? Yeah. And if it's not written into your contract,
watch out.
It can be the thing that hits you at the end of it all of a sudden, and you have to come up with an extra $3,000 because you have 10 extra people.
Because these things cost extra.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine trying to find food for an extra 50 people.
Yeah.
That costs extra money.
But if you have not locked in what that price is,
right,
then that that's a dangerous thing. So especially if you're also working with a brand new venue or something along those lines, it's one of those things that you should be asking.
Definitely.
Because if it looks too good to be true,
it probably is.
It probably is. And it's a concern because sometimes I get couples who are coming to me and they've been planning, and so I can't save them from that mistake.
Right.
So it's hard to come back and say like, oh, okay. Like if you're having a tented event, there's only so many people that can fit underneath your tent.
Good point.
So if you basically lowballed yourself.
Yep. And you got a tent for 50 people.
A tent for 50 people.
And now there's 100 people.
Or even 75 people. That's a big, huge difference.
Where do you put these people?
Or you're deciding all of a sudden you've changed your menu from being plated to being a buffet. That buffet table has to be in there.
Yeah.
Your DJ has to be in there. Your bar has to be in there. So just because that price point looked nicer, in the long run, there may not be tents left. You and I know this for 2022 and 2023. There is a tent shortage because so many people are doing outside. So many venues are actually booking their tents and keeping them up all year.
Right.
So this is one of those things where it's like, okay, it's not necessarily, they're not lying to you. Hopefully not.
Right.
And if they are lying to you, then please don't sign that contract. But make sure in the contract that if you have these concerns or questions, you're getting that priced out and written, and how is that amendment going into your contract?
Right. Going to kind of diverge a little bit there. I've had clients that have a facility that already have their sound system, and the client will say to me, well, because you don't have to bring all your equipment now, you can just use the facility sound system. I should be getting a discount off your price. I have to try and explain to clients, and I'm going to try and explain it to you as best as I possibly can. You don't hire me for the equipment that I bring to the facility. On my contract, it says nothing about the equipment that I bring. And I do that specifically because you're not hiring me for the equipment. You're hiring me for my expertise on that particular day.
You have like 18 different equipment setups in there on the off chance that something...
And that's exactly why I do that, because if I get to a facility and there's something that I need to change because either I made a mistake or the client made a mistake, I can't just bring along just the equipment that I need specifically.
You're cooking for 10 people and 20 people show up. Now you have to cut your beef Wellingtons in half.
That's exactly right.
You're skimping somewhere. Something's getting lost.
Something has to give. So if you happen to hire a facility that has a DJ system or a video system or photography system, don't expect to pay less, because what you're really paying for is the talent of that person. That person will bring along the right camera, the right video equipment, or the right DJ equipment.
And now, if you're working with a venue that provides you with a specific vendor, their pricing might be a little bit different, because if they're the only person in there, then that's a totally different thing. Like I know for us, when we work at our venues, my pricing for doing planning is a little bit lower because I control all the variable things that could, in theory, happen, hopefully.
Yeah, and the same thing when I work with you, I give people a discount because I know you're going to take care of I don't
take care of Sam. I don't.
Some of the things that I do,
I bring him his very nice cold Diet Coke with ice, and just make sure that he's pampered and has fans on him.
That's it.
That's all.
I'm gonna get my nails done, a pedicure,
a little grape feeding every now and then. Yeah,
we're kidding.
Yeah, absolutely, we're kidding. But I think one of the things that we were just trying to say is, if it seems too good to be true, in all likelihood, it may be, or it needs a better explanation. And in that better explanation, you should be covering things like, what's your normal price? That's another question.
Oh, yes. Very good question.
What's your normal price?
Yep.
Are you insured? Will my venue take you? That's the other thing.
Yeah.
What type of equipment? You can ask the equipment conversation if you want to. How much access am I going to have to you as a vendor? Because those are those things. So sometimes it may seem like great, but then you're upset because your photographer doesn't call you back.
Yeah.
Or you booked a great photography package and then you realize halfway through it that there's no engagement package.
Yeah.
Or there's a fee for engagement packages. So
because these discounts are going to be put together to be more favorable for the vendor that's doing it. They're not going to give away their entire service for a third of what they normally do. So inherently, there's something that has been taken out in order to encourage you to book them. You have to find out what that is.
Yeah. And in asking that question, there is no harm in it. Absolutely. If somebody says, what's your standard price? I'm going to tell them, this is my standard price. And if they say, well, then how come you're discounting it to this part of it? Yep. I'm saying because you are either filling in a date that I haven't booked, and now it's closer, so it makes sense. Yep. You know, there could be a whole different set of reasons, but I'm willing to have that conversation.
Yeah, I don't have to work so much because you've hired my musician to do cocktail hour and dinner.
Yeah.
That's why it's that price.
Sam has one time said, I will not work for this place if I cannot be set up here because it made your life easier. It made my life and the couple's life easier.
And the sound was better.
Yes. Yeah. Well, you care about the sound.
I do.
I mean, I care about it when it goes. Not that.
Other than that, if it sounds good,
it's good.
Okay.
It's fine. But those are, these are the things. So just you're all inspirational, and I'm like, take everything with a grain of salt. Yeah. But I don't think that's actually ever changed.
No, I don't think it's changed.
Okay. So remember that you can download us for free wherever you get your favorite podcast. We are available on Anchor, the Spotify network, and now exclusively on the Wedding Talk channel on unshook.com radio. If you have any questions or comments or topics you want us to cover, or you want to be a guest, email us at engagect@gmail.com.
Thanks to our sponsors, EasyEventPlanning.com, Meadowbrook Estate, Emerge Cosmetics, Here to the Moon Travel, Destination Weddings Unlimited, Dollar Tree, Honey Fund, and the official new bride name change kit.
Now syndicated on the Wedding Talk channel on unshook.com radio network, America's radio station.
And thank you for joining us this week. We will see you next week.
Sounds good.
The Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding podcast is sponsored by easyeventplanning.com. They make planning any event fast and easy. easyeventplanning.com. This podcast is produced and copyright by Atmosphere Productions in association with Engaged Connecticut.